Hello friends, welcome to LogicHeap. In this tutorial, we are going to see how we can do insertion in linked list. We have already gone through to the introduction of linked list and then to the traversal of it. In this part, we are going to see insertion in linked list. What is the goal? We create a linked list with data shown above, and that is we have already done in the previous tutorial. So if you have not completed it, I would suggest to complete the tutorial having traversal part and then jump to this tutorial. So once you have a linked list with data shown above, now we need to think about the insertion. You have a linked list, now you need to do the insertion. So there could be three possible cases. The first one is maybe you want to add this new node in the front of the linked list. Second case could be you want to add this new node somewhere in between, not in the first, not in the last, somewhere in between. And the last case is you want to add this new node at the end. This is called appending a new node. Okay. So these are the three cases. So till now our class looks like this. We have a linked list class having print list method defined in it. We have node class having data and next section in it. And at the right hand side you can see what all usage we have done of these two classes. So that's how we have created a linked list and we have also printed it. Okay, so the first case is when you want to do the insertion in front of the linked list. You want to insert 5 at the beginning of your linked list. So let's see step by step. First thing, if you want to insert 5, firstly you need to have a node created having 5 in it as data. So for this, what we'll use node class. We have discussed node class earlier. What we are going to do, we are going to pass 5 as the, it will create an instance in memory having 5 as data and none in the next variable. And the reference of this instance is kept at the temp. See here what we are doing. We have created a new instance and we are keeping its reference in temp. So let's suppose the address of this new node is 3135. So in temp you have 3135 referencing this node. So till now first step is clear. We have created a new node having 5 in it. Now let's think about the second step. Now you need to insert this new node as the first node, right? What you need to do is head should point to this new node. If 3135 is the reference of it, then head should contain 3135, right? You want 3135 to be here. But if you put 3135 here, the reference of this whole linked list is gone. Like 1000 does no longer exist in head. So how will you find this list? So firstly, we should not change the head. Then what should we do? What possibly I can do is I can make it point to this block. Like we can make it point to the first node of your previous linked list. So now what it will contain? 1000. It's because the linked list that you are going to form, the first node is now going to be this, right? And this is going to be the second node. So ideally, first node's next variable should contain the reference of second node. So that's why this part is done. So now see, starting from here, this first node, second, third, fourth, fifth. Now this complete linked list is made. Now the only thing is pending is to change head. Now we'll make head as 3135. So now our complete linked list is ready. Head contains 3135. It means it is pointing to this node. This node is pointing to this, right? So this becomes your first. This becomes your second node and so on. So that's how you have inserted 5 at the beginning. So this is the code. It is very much similar to the algorithm I have mentioned here in step 1, 2 and 3. It's the same. It's just the method I have written here. This method we are going to put in the linked list class, and we are taking data as the parameter here. Now let's come to the case 2 when we want to do the insertion after a given node. So what would be given to us? We would be given a reference to the node after which I want to insert my new node. So suppose I want to insert 5 again after some node, and the reference to this node would be given. So this would be the previous node, and after that you need to insert the new data. And after that you need to insert the new node. So first thing again, what you'll do, you'll create a new node with data as 5. Let's say again its reference is in temp having value 3135, let's say. And also what is given to you, you have given a reference to the previous node. So it's 3000. After this node, right? After this node, this should come, and then this should point to the next node. So this node needs to come between these two nodes. First is this and second is this. Your new node is going to come in between these. So instead of none, what it should contain? Instead of none, it should point to the next node. And where is the address of this node? The address of this node is 4000 and it is stored here. So can I say privnode.next contains the reference? Yes. So instead of none, what we are going to keep here, privnode.next. And the only thing which is left is now here instead of 4000, what it should contain? It should point to the temp. So in the privnode.next, we'll keep temp, which is 3135. So now our all the references have been made correct. Firstly, we created a new node. Then in the privnode.next, whatever is stored, we'll keep it in temp.next. And in the last step, privnode.next means at this position, it is going to point to the temp. So this is the code added in linked list class for the insert after method. And this is going to take two things: priv node, the reference to the previous node after which we want to insert the data, and the data itself. So firstly, we have done a check if priv node is none. So we need to think about all the corner cases when we design a method, right? So here, if priv node is none, we would say that this node doesn't exist. You need to provide a valid reference and simply return. Otherwise, if this is fine, if you get a correct previous node, then what you'll do, firstly you'll create a data, and then the same things which I have mentioned here, you need to do the same step. Third case, you want to append a given node. It means you want to insert a new node at the end of your linked list. Again, you want to insert 5 at the end. Now you should know what is the first thing we do. We create a new node with data as 5. We put its reference and temp. Okay, so this step is done. Step 2. Okay, now if you want to insert at the end, you need to have the reference of the last node. Only then after that you will insert a new node. So for that you will do the complete traversal from first node till the last node. And once you have the reference of the last node, in the last node's next, where earlier it was none, you will make it to change to point to this node. So here what should come? 3135. Okay, so step 3 is clear. It's just the traversal. So how you'll do the traversal? I'm talking about step 2. What you're going to do here? Whatever is there in the head, which is 1000, you will keep in a temporary variable last node, and you'll check if last node dot next. It means here. In the first case, last node dot next is 2000. So if 2000 is there, yes, it is there. So you'll come inside and you'll change last node assigns last node dot next. So what does last node now contains? It points to 2000. Then it will check if last node dot next. It means 3000. It is also not none. So it will go inside. It will change last node to 3000. Now in last node dot next you have 4000. So again it is not null. We'll go inside the loop and here last node assigns last node dot next. So now it contains 4000. Now last node is 4000. And finally when you'll do last node dot next, you'll get none. Right? So this loop will exit. In last node dot next you will point it to temp. That's it. That is how you append a given node. There's one small that you need to note here. Here you are writing last node dot next. Now this will error out if last node itself is none. It means what last node initially would be containing, it would be containing head. And if head is none, it means it's an empty linked list. In that case, your program will error out because head is none and you are trying to access next of it, like head dot next. So this is about the corner case. Therefore, before writing this loop, you should check that head is not none. If it is none, what you should do, you should simply assign temp in head. Nothing else you need to do. So if you see here in the code, uh, we have done this check. Firstly, we have created a new node. Then in the last node, you have assigned self.head. If self.head is none, what you'll do in the head, you'll simply assign temp. So this is going to be the first and last node in it. Otherwise, we'll run a loop till you get last node dot next as none. Once you get it in last node dot next, you are putting temp. That's it. This whole tutorial was about insertion of a new node in your linked list. For the code, please check the description box. There I'll provide the link.
Thank you so much, guys, for tuning into LogicHeap. If you like this video, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.